What's up with the YouTube? Kobe and me at West, another video. Um, on this one, man, I want to talk about the child support game in the black community. This is a subject that ain't nobody trying to touch on. You know, a couple brothers on here do touch on it, and I'm gonna go ahead and add my contribution to it. See, a lot of us presume in the black community that child support is a necessity from the lack of black fathers being present in the children's lives. But let's really look at the real and what causes the child support predicaments to begin with. So let me go ahead and get into the video. Now a lot of black women with the feminist mindset, they work from the standpoint or the assumption of that that they'll take an issue, the very same issue that would normally be argued and debated within the black community. In their eyes, it's already presumed as truth. So that's why they start with phrases such as "we all know" or "most of them." Those are common starting points of feminist propaganda. Now, it's court record. It's not public though. It is court record that many black women, they have gone to the court to gain custodial custody of their children and take a proactive approach to working with the government to destroy the black community by participating in the government family separation program, i.e. the family court. This court this court has powers like no other court in the land. It works in secret. Its proceedings are not a matter of public record. The defendants in the court are presumed guilty, and they bear the burden of proving innocence. These are all facts that you ain't gonna hear discussed in the media. You know what I'm saying? Or the black men that want to stand up and protect women, they're not gonna discuss this. So, black women who already work from the pretext of the father being a deadbeat who ran off will have no reason to claim custodial parental rights to a child's father who's not even around. Ask yourself, why would she do this? The man's not around to contest custody, so why would she need to do that in the first place? No one examines the facts. The only reason the courts would award a woman custodial custody of a child is if the father is in the child's life. Now, I'm not saying the man has to be present in order for them to do this. They can proceed with or without him, and overwhelmingly, it always culminates in the woman's and the state's favor. Why the woman in the state? The woman gains de facto control over the children and becomes the primary decision maker for the children without having to consult the man about nothing. She also gonna gain a monthly salary based on the man's income. Now, women to tell you that it's just a nominal amount and he need to shut up and just pay his child support. That's what they say, right? But the billions of dollars of child support collected each year depict a whole different picture. It's way more than just a nominal amount. And anyways, the woman in many cases is still eligible for medical care, housing assistance, and other government sponsored social programs if the father's income doesn't produce adequate child support. So she gonna leave the situation covered. Now the states collect the child support money and deposit it into a state fund, but the federal government pays most of the administrative costs and therefore dictates to the state the way the system operates through mandates and financial incentives. So the federal government pays 66% of the state's administrative overhead costs, 80% of the computer and technology enhancement costs, and 90% of the DNA testing for paternity. Now, in addition to all of that, the states, all 50 of them, so that's why I don't accept this, he ran off on me. In all 50 states, it don't matter what state you in. Turn a man into the system, and he gonna have to pay one way or the other. So these men ain't just running off. You know what I'm saying? That's why that argument holds no validity with me. You know what I'm saying? So excuse me. In addition to all the federal government money that the states pay, excuse me, all the money that the federal government pays to the states, brother, they still share in a pool of money as incentives from the federal government dollars. You know what I'm saying? And these states can get a waiver to spend the bonus money any way they choose. You know, this was really going on. You know, and then most of the child support owed by welfare class fathers, or fathers that's in jail, or fathers that's just unemployed, or you know, they mostly remain unemployed. They're not collecting the money from these cats. So you got to ask yourself, in order to cash in on the federal government bonus money, the states have to build their bureaucracies, and so they can brag about all the successful child support enforcement that they engaged in. The state has to begin, or they did begin, bringing in to the government system the middle class fathers, the ones with jobs and probably would never be on welfare, the non-welfare families, the working families. They're the ones who grew the child support system by 83%, and they account for 92% of all the money collected. That creates a big windfall of federal money that flows down to the state level. The state ain't collecting billions each year from men who are unemployed and live below the poverty line. They're collecting from the men who got good jobs and earn honest livings, and we're always in a position to support their children in the first place. But black women want you to believe men with jobs are just running around creating children, and we refuse to take care of them. That's what they want you to believe, right? What you fail to realize is the federal incentives drive the system, man. The more divorces, the more babies mamas, the higher the child support guidelines. The guidelines are going to be set even higher. It don't matter how ludicrous and unreasonable they become. They're going to use that as a pretext to make them more unreasonable. The more money, so the higher the guidelines, the more money the state bureaucracies collect from the feds. You see what I'm saying? You see the picture I'm painting? Follow the money. The less time the non-custodial parent, which is usually the father, is permitted to have with the child, the more child support they're going to have to pay to the state fund. So the higher the federal bonus to the state for collecting the money. This is why the overwhelming majority of fathers are only awarded every other weekend if they get lucky. The state have a powerful incentive to separate fathers from their children, man. To give near total custody to the mothers, to maintain the father's high level support obligations, even if the income is drastically reduced. They're going to try to hang on to the father's payments as long as possible to before paying them out to the mothers. And I don't even know why we call it child support. You can't prove it's going to the child. So the General Accounting Office, the United States General Accounting Office, reported in 2005, states was holding $757 million in UDC. UDC is undistributed child support. This is the pool of federal child support dollars that I was talking about. The $757 million ain't going to no children. The states is sharing in this, and they can get away with it, spend it any way they want. So what they won't tell you is that each year the federal government provides incentive funds to the states for meeting 5 incentive goals in order to be eligible for them dollars. So that's paternity establishment percentage, support order percentage, current support percentage, arrearage percentage, and cost effectiveness. So we ain't gonna even touch on spin-off issues such as paternity frauds that the state try to get over so they can still collect more money. So we ain't gonna get into it on this one. And I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. You can go check every fact I just stated in the United States Code. You can look it up in the Cornell Law Library online, and also the other source I used was the United States Department of Health and Human Services under the glossary of financial and statistical terms, I think it was. But anyways, that's the real game on child support. Anybody want to challenge that? I dare you. Holler back. West Coast.